hungry, or many other things that foster distractions, like demons. No, he didn't say that. I said that. I mean, but you see where I'm going with this. Yeah. Okay, that may foster distractions, making your job getting stuff into the listener's head much harder. That, like I said, every pastor needs to read this. On the other side, there is a risk that we briefers will do things that pause that for a minute. And you know I was laughing through this whole thing. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. On the other side, there is a risk that we briefers will do things that feed that distraction or obstruct the knowledge transfer. My tips are designed to win the war of distractions. First, simplicity is gold. True genius is the ability to take the complicated, resist the simplistic, and deliver the simple. It is much harder. Look, it is much harder than it sounds. We are people of substance, and we know lots of interesting, complicated stuff. Pause.
Hey,
you ready?
back on.
All right. Oh, we feel the need to show our listeners how much hard stuff we know. That's a mistake.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a mistake. The best briefings I have received are the ones where the briefer boiled it down to a simple essence that allows me to absorb it quickly and ask follow-up questions. The simplicity of the explanation leaves a lasting impression. I always want to know who that person is and what they do because I see a spark of genius. Strive to be simple. Second, remember your mother. If you could speak to your mom without restriction about your work, you would look her in the eye, speak in an interesting voice at a reasonable pace. She loves you, but she doesn't love boring and can't follow you when you rush or mumble. Doesn't like boring and can't follow you when you rush or you mumble. Okay? Avoid acronyms and fancy words. Tell her the most important things first and then listen to her questions and have a great conversation with her. Why don't we brief each other more often that way? I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with the need to demonstrate our mastery of something, and we think that turns on fancy words, using a grown-up voice and being complicated. It doesn't. Third, don't read or its evil twin memorize. Don't read or its evil twin memorize.
Wow.
Very few people alive can read or recite memorized text in a way that holds the listener's interest, because reading does weird things to our tone, pace, and effect. You and I are likely not among those very few, so we shouldn't try it. And when you read, the listener starts wondering what that document is that you're reading from and why you just don't give a copy ahead. Look, give everybody a copy ahead of time so we can skip this briefing. It is a terrifying thing at first, but you must force yourself to brief either without any paper at all or with just a few notes to remind yourself of the topics you want to cover. But it's not as scary as it sounds because you know your stuff. When you know your stuff, you ain't got to read it verbatim. Okay? Now, if your mom asked, you could tell her about it easily, assuming she had appropriate clearance and a need to know. As scary as this sounds, it is the path to effective briefing because it will foster a conversational tone and likely an actual conversation. Don't worry about getting stuck or losing your place. Those are normal human things that actually connect you to the listener, who is also human themselves. Oh, that'll skip the pride part. That have people stop imitating other people. All right. Fourth, remember that PowerPoint is like a high explosive. Sometimes you must use it to accomplish the mission, but unless used sparingly and expertly, it will blow you up. I still have not figured out how to use PowerPoint well. I know it has its uses, as do exhibits and various kinds of various kinds, because visual learning is a separate thing from oral learning. Now, the best rule of thumb I can offer is to use visuals, including PowerPoint, to merely supplement your presentation. You and the words coming out your mouth are the star of the show. Don't give a distractible listener the excuse to check out on you and by staring at slides or reading ahead. A lot of people check out on you. Look, keep slides to an absolute bare minimum, and don't put many words on your slides, or your listener will read them while you're trying to say something. I'm guilty of that. All the time. I'd be like, what is all this stuff on the screen? Like, we supposed to read that before he gets, flip to the next part? Fifth, do not do weird stuff. All of us have verbal tactics. All of us have verbal tics. Like this.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. This, that, and that. Okay, now, or comfort words that pepper our speech. I rotate through some doozies, and all of us gesticulate. Those things are part of normal, healthy communication, but if done too much, they can distract. Ask people who love you if you are making strange sounds or gestures. Similarly, all of us have cool clothes. Well, some of us do, and hilarious holiday garb. Again, ask a loved one if you should burst out your skeleton tie or blinking earrings for the coming presentation. My thinking is that you want to look good, but not distracting. Oh, they hung up.
Go.
Wait.
All right, my thinking is that you want to look good, but not distracting. I once wore a tie that played a melody of Christmas carols. It looked to court. He was a lawyer, you know. I buttoned my jacket down. Upon rising to address the court, the tie played. I can still feel the burning in my cheeks as we all waited for the fourth song to finish. It was the longest rendition of Jingle Bells in history. It all boils down to remembering the goal. You want to get something you know to be something your listener knows. Destroy all obstacles to the goal. Good luck. Jim Comey. Yeah. Now, that was hilarious. But it was the truth. And every preacher needs to do, don't you add to the people that's already distracted. Don't get up there and be boring and put them all the way to sleep. All right, Erica's going to close us out in a word of prayer. Wow. Keeping our city lifted up, and the children, the adults, the political leaders, everything, the police department, their families are the ones that was injured, them that was injured themselves, all of our families, and just pray for the whole ball of wax.
Huh?